Hey everyone, Gamer Dad here. How you doing, eh? So today
While other games
I wanted to
offer
discuss
resource collection in
the
various
Star
forms, like
Citizen
mining, for example, this
mining
is not
video that they put
necessarily a
out, and
fun
it gets
job
me
to do in a
quite
game.
excited
This is where always with
because
mining we've
they're
had this
thinking
approach
about
of like, no,
solo
no, this needs to be
players,
fun. Like
which
every
I
part of
believe
it,
is
there needs to
very
be fun. There needs to
important,
be a
and
challenge.
they
You need to
should focus
have a
on this
risk
stuff.
involved. There needs to be
And the fact
something
that
that
this guy
doesn't
said
quite
that,
end up as you planned
well,
in the
we'll
beginning.
look into that. Take a look at this.
When I was with a friend. We stumbled over the problem that with a proper setup of the prospector, it was not even possible to crack like the biggest stones.
In the previous updates, we kept adding more and more tools for the players to mine, and we also ramped up the difficulty of the mineable rocks. This presented us with a bit of a problem where, since we went more and more towards a multiplayer mole experience, 2-3 prospectors working together, the problem became that single players kind of were unable to reach that content, not being able to mine very hard rocks. So we figured out that there is a niche that we need to start catering towards.
Okay, so that comment right there that guy gave that said, we have noticed that content is getting out of grips for solo players. Makes, like, he's my most favorite person in CIG right now because that is what I'm talking about. We need to cater to the single player people, and the fact that he's sitting there saying, oh, this can't be reached by a single player, it can only be reached by multiplayer interaction, gives me hope that, exactly like I said in my last video, that the way they're working with Squadron 42 and making it a single player, I believe that's going to make Star Citizen very viable in the single player aspect as well. And I think they should make it because I believe the majority of players playing on a daily basis are not going to be playing in groups of people. They may be playing by them. They may be playing in groups of people like multiple times throughout the week, but even the most hardcore multiplayer person still plays by himself to grind out missions, grind out funds, do things like that. And there's tons of people that's all they do is single player stuff. So I think they need to cater to that. And the fact that this guy is thinking about it, the fact that this guy is actually sitting back and saying, no, this can't be reached by single player people. How can we make it so it can be reached by them and still done by them and they don't have to have help? That gives me a lot of hope because we have so many people out there giving their opinion on why this has to be a multiplayer game, and that's the only way it can be, and the only way you're going to get to do anything really cool is if you're with a group of people. And I think that is garbage. The fact that they think that they get to play elitism with their multiplayer groups, and the fact that, oh no, you can't touch that content because that's only multiplayer and you have to have 6 friends of yours with all with ships to be able to even touch that, is, in my mind, a garbage business model. You are basically taking out the biggest portion of your player base and saying, no, we're going to develop this time consuming content to develop it, and we're only going to make it attainable by a select few people. I mean, it just doesn't make much sense. And for something like that to work, it has to be a prestige thing. It has to be like in Destiny, they have their raids, which take them a lot of time to do, but less than 20% of the player base actually finishes a raid in Destiny. So that means 1 in 5 people are going to actually finish that content. And if it wasn't a prestige thing for raid or for Destiny, I don't believe they would even do raids because it would just be too much work for so little payoff. And so little of their player base actually playing that content, but their hardcore player base wants it. Their hardcore PvE player base. So that's why they put it out there, and it is very fun content once you get into it. And I'm not against multiplayer content. I play Destiny, and I finished every raid in Destiny, and I'm top 10% of raiders in Destiny. I've completed so many raids. It's a matter of, it's a lot of work, and the majority of my time in Destiny is by myself. So if you're not developing content for the players by themselves, I believe you're doing yourself a disservice as a company, and I believe that CIG and this person's perspective on this subject is a very good perspective. Look at something that say, okay, yes, you can do it with multiplayer, but then say, okay, if the single player guy wants to do it and he wants to put in a little more work, or he wants to put in a little more skill, or whatever you want to call it, to do this content, give him an option to be able to do it. Don't block it out and lock it out from him and play the elite role that's like, no, you can't do this because you just don't stand up to those. You just don't have enough friends. You just don't have enough equipment. You just don't have enough. The biggest thing is friends in my mind, and people playing the game. There are so many good games out there now. To get your friends all playing one game is tough. To get friends playing the same game every day, if you really like it, is near impossible. So make the content so single players can do it, and I believe you'll have a much better business model because you'll be catering to a lot more people. And on top of that, you'll have a lot more people just enjoying their time alone in the game, which is the majority of that time. So that is my thoughts on that. I've also been working on a little control map for Elite Dangerous, or not Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. It's going to go over to as well. I'm going to make one for that because I play that as well. But for Star Citizen, they have so many controls, and I run Verpals. I've never found a comprehensive button map, so I'm hoping that I can do a good button map, and then I'm going to put it out there for people to use, I hope. So have a good one. Like and subscribe. If you like solo content, this is what I'm going to focus on. I want CIG to make things accessible for solo players. And I believe it has so many people out there white knighting the multiplayer roles that it needs a little content, and it needs somebody standing up for the guy who doesn't want to yak with people all night and just wants to go do those things by himself. And if he can get the equipment together and he has the skill to do it, he should be able to do it by himself. He shouldn't have to have people to do the things. So like and subscribe. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.